Okay. Good morning. So we will continue with this sculpture part, the sculpture of ancient India, and then Chola sculpture. Chola sculpture, the hallmark of Chola Empire was, that is the essentially solid bronze image of a statue of Nataraj, the statue of Nataraj. So since the Harappan period, they use the lost wax technique, means make the statue of wax, and then after that the frame was created along that statue, and then this wax was removed, and then molten metal was put into, and thereafter frame was broken. So this is called lost wax technique. So Chola sculpture, we can find that there was an image of five alloys with lost wax technique. So main statue was the statue of Nataraj. So Chola sculpture of Nataraj is exact relation between philosophy and art. Exact relation between philosophy and art. Bodhisattva Maitreya means the Buddha was also constructed. Image of Buddha was also constructed. So Chola sculpture. There is exact relation between philosophy and art. So let us analyze this Nataraj, statue of Nataraj, which is perhaps the biggest finding of the Chola design, statue of Nataraj. This statue of Nataraj in the 10th century AD, this sculpture was constructed. Chola Queen Amang Devi had placed this statue in Chidambaram temple. Had placed this statue in Chidambaram temple. So if you look at the statue of Nataraj, statue of Nataraj. These nimbus on the circle, this is representing the time. Time is nothing but a cyclic movement of universe. Kala means time. Kal means time. Is nothing but a cyclic movement of planets. When you continue as a year, as a day, this is how planet, month, all these things is the movement. So within time, there is a universe. There is a universe. Within time, there is a universe. In this universe, there is philosophy called creation and destruction. Those who were created, that is a drum. Drum is a sound of creation. Drum is a sound of creation. And fire is the object of destruction. Fire is the object of destruction. Fire is the object of destruction. Fire is object of destruction. So that means those who are created are bound to destroy. Those who are created are bound to destroy. Then this small teeny creature, that is called ignorance. Ignorance is that in Hindi we call bulakkarpan. Ignorance. Ignorance. Ego, that must be crushed. This is demons. This ignorance is demons. Apasmar, the demon was suppressed by Lord Shiva. In one of the year there is a ring. The one of the year there is a ring, and that ring is called, that is a combination of male and female, that is Ardhanarishwar, and that is a Shakti, power. Shakti and power. Shakti and power. This hand is Abhay Mudra. Abhay Mudra is generally we have seen in the Buddhism, but basically it is a philosophy of Saivism which is called fearlessness. So Buddha is trying to call you nothing to fear. Buddha is trying to call you that nothing is fear. So ignorance, ego. Then there is a snake. Snake, it is around the arms and then in the spine. Snake is around the arms and it is in the spine. The snake is something like that. You can see the snake always in the dormant stage. Very dull. But when it arose, that is a most exciting power immediately get. So like that, your spine is a Kundalini power. When it erodes, true salvation can be achieved. True consciousness can be achieved. So spine, your power is dormant. So if you want to get the true consciousness, you have to arouse the Kundalini power in the spine, which is called, represented as a snake. So snake in the arms and then spine, it is called Kundalini power. Kundalini power. Snake in the arms and the spine, it is called Kundalini power. Kundalini power is that in the spine, when it erodes, this power became active. Then true consciousness can be achieved. True consciousness. True consciousness can be achieved. This is the philosophy of Nataraj. So this is the biggest ever structure you can find in which there are lots of philosophy related to the human is there. So this is the statue of Lord Shiva and the philosophy that nothing is permanent. Those who are born are bound to destroy. जिसका उद्भव हुआ है उसका अंत है, and that is what is called the drum is a sound of creation and fire is object of destruction. So in the statue of Nataraj, you will find there is one hand drum and on the other hand fire. So this is a symbolism of the fact that those who are created are bound to destroy. Those who are created are bound to destroy. Bound to destroy. This is the philosophy. So there are two kinds of Tandav. One is called Anand Tandav and second is called Raudra Tandav. Raudra Tandav. Anand Tandav and Raudra Tandav. So when there is a drum, this is Anand Tandav. When there is a fire, this is a Raudra Tandav. This is creation and this is destruction. Which is represented in the statue of Nataraj with drum and fire. Drum and fire. Tandav, Ananda Tandav and Rodha Tandav. So sound of destruction and sound of creation. So these are the some ancient Indian sculpture. Recently, the UNESCO had presented a list of the heritage, intangible heritage. Intangible heritage means the any material and non-material aspects of the culture continued through traditions, customs. So this is with the aim of ensuring better protection of important intangible culture, any material and non-material aspects, which is continued through the generations. Continued through the generations. With the aim of ensuring better protection of important intangible cultural heritage. Important intangible cultural heritage. So this list was prepared. This is across the world. So what actually it constitutes? It encompasses the expressions and the traditions, living expressions and the traditions. What is the meaning of the intangible cultural heritage? The skills that is transmitted from generation to generation, knowledge, expressions, representations, practices. So this is a list of UNESCO list of intangible heritage. So as well as artifacts, objects, instruments, and cultural spaces associated with them, that various groups, communities. So therefore that is transmitted, continued with the generation and generation. Anything, the skills, the knowledge, the expressions, representations, practices, whether it is artifacts, whether it is instruments, objects, cultural spaces, this all was taken up. This list is published by the Intergovernmental Committee for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage. Intangible cultural heritage. It aims at drawing attention to the importance of safeguarding cultural heritage and is a repository of cultural diversity and creative expressions. It aims at drawing attention to the importance of safeguarding cultural heritage and repository of cultural diversity and creative expression. So the recent inclusion, we have the Buddhist chanting of Ladakh. Buddhist Lama, they chant a Buddhist mantras because they were mostly Vajrayanist. Buddhist chanting. Sacred texts chanted by the Buddhist lamas. Each of the Buddhist sect has several forms of chanting. Mostly the Vajrayana Buddhist, they had mantras. Kalbelia dance we will study in the dance form. That is a dance is a very famous with the woodwind instrument. This is very similar to that. You call that Nagin dance. Mostly the Bangladeshi team do after they win, and when they lose, the other dance. So this dance is very similar to Bangladeshi team. Normally after winning they go for this dance. Very famous Kalbelia is a community in Rajasthan. The woodwind instrument called pungi is like a bean. Then Chhau dance. Chhau generally practiced in 3 states, that is Jharkhand, Odisha and West Bengal. West Bengal. 3 states. This Chhau dance is involved. A tradition from eastern India that enacts episodes from epics including the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, local folklore and abstract themes. It is very much connected to the Chaitra Parva. Chaitra Parva. The tribal community perform this, but they take the cue from the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, local folklore, the abstract theme. Kudiyattam. There is a theatre in Kerala, oldest theatre, Sanskrit language. That Sanskrit language was taken, the oldest theatres. Kudiyattam. Kumbh Mela, festival of the sacred bath once in 12 years. The festival of a sacred pitcher where the pilgrims bath to take the dip in the sacred river, the Sangam. The Sangam of three holiest river considered: Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. Nowruz. This is festival celebrated, or this is a Persian New Year festival. Nowruz, Persian New Year festival. Ram Leela. In India, this Nowruz festival was started by Balban. And during the time of Jahangir, it got huge momentum because Noor Jahan, she was much fascination to celebrate the Nowruz. So during the time of Jahangir, it had become a very important in the Mughal court. Mudiyettu, this is a ritual dance drama of the Kerala. Goddess Kali had a fight with the demon Darika. This is in Kerala. This is a popular cult that Goddess Kali had. Then Ram Leela. The traditional performance of the epic Ramayana during the month of Dasara. The traditional performance of Ramayana. Mudiyettu. Then we have Raman. This is a festival in Uttarakhand. There is a god Bhumyal Devata in Uttarakhand, so Mudiyettu. In Uttarakhand, Ramman. This is a festival, religious festival. A religious festival. Sankirtan. That includes a set of arts performed to mark religious occasions and various stages in the life of the Vaishnava people. When the Vaishnavism was introduced in Manipur, and then Chaitanya Prabhu, he was spreading the Vaishnava religion in the northeastern parts of India. Then in Manipur, this fashionable thing was introduced. This mark religious occasions and various stages in life of the Vaishnava people of the Manipur. Sankirtan. This is a music, dance, and words. And the lyric. This is a popular theme of the Krishna cult. Chaitanya Prabhu had Chaitanya. He introduced Kirtan, and which was renamed in Manipur as Sankirtan. Traditional brass and the copper craft of utensil making. In Punjab, they were known as Thathera. Thatheras. The craft of the Thatheras of Zantiala Guru constitute the traditional technique of manufacturing brass and copper utensils in Punjab. They were called Thathera. It is an entire Punjab area. These brass craft is made. This is also in the list of UNESCO list of intangible culture. Vedic chanting. The tradition of Vedic chanting, chanted during sacred rituals, that is, the Vedic mantras by the Brahmin priest. Yoga. It's called art of union. The yoga is the art of unifying the mind, body, and soul for greater spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. I think now this is okay. So this is the list of the intangible culture, UNESCO list of intangible culture. Classical language of India. Classical language. So 6 Indian languages had the status of classical language. 6 Indian languages. It had the status of classical language. Tamil was the first declared. Then we have Sanskrit, Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, and then finally Odia. So these are the six languages. We call it as a classical language. Recent is Odia. At least 15 to 2000 years old, 1000 to 1500 years old, there should be literature from where this language was derived, original literature, not copied or borrowed. Not copied or borrowed. So Ministry of Culture give the status of the classical language. The guidelines for declaring a language as a classical are. These are the 4 bullet points which describe any language as a classical language. High antiquity of its early text, recorded history over a period of 1500 to 2000 years. There is an early text of this language in the recorded history over a period of 1500 to 2000 years. Then a body of ancient literature text which is considered a valuable heritage by the generations of the speakers. A body of ancient literature text which is considered a valuable heritage by generations of speakers. And it should not be borrowed from any other speech community. Should not be borrowed from any other speech community. And classical language and literature being distinct from modern. There may be discontinuity between the classical language and its later formats, offshoots. If the language had derived many languages, there are some discontinuity, but it must be distinct from the modern. So what actually you get benefit when you declare any language as a classical language? So Ministry of Human Resources and Development and Ministry of Education. There are, after declaring, the Ministry of Culture declare any language as a classical language, but Ministry of Education then follow the guidelines that if any language was declared as classical, then what are the advantages? So Ministry of Culture declared it and Ministry of Education manifested it. To measure annual international awards for scholars of eminence in classical Indian languages. Center of Excellence, of Excellence to be set up in the university. And UGC is requested to start at least in the central universities a certain number of professional chairs for the classical language so declared. So these are the major benefit of classical language. So, Indian music and the school of philosophy. Indian music. So, origin of Indian music, that is Natya Shastra, dance, music, all theater, all from the Natya Shastra written by Bharat Muni. Natya Shastra. But before that, there are some that when God was getting bored, there was no work. So therefore, the God asked Brahma to create any mode of entertainment for them. So every human, ever since the human or the God came into existence, they needed entertainment. So Brahma had created Natya Ved. Natya Ved. This is the fifth Ved, and it is borrowed from all the four Vedas: the Rig Ved, Sam Ved, Yajur Ved, and Atharva Ved. This is borrowed from all the Vedas, Natya Vedas. So when God pleaded Brahma to create some mode of entertainment for them, then Brahma had created Natya Ved. Rig Ved, Sam Ved, Yajur Ved, and Atharva Ved. So taking many things from there, it is created. And after that, Natya Shastra Bharat Muni. So there are two schools of music. The Hindustani music and Carnatic music. There are fundamental difference between these two. Fundamental difference. Between these two, Hindustani and Carnatic. We will find out the difference at all level. Hindustani and the Carnatic music. We will find out the difference. So origin of Hindustani music. So this knowledge of music was transmitted from generation to generation. So origin of Hindustani music. So let us differentiate between the Hindustani and the Carnatic music. And Carnatic music. Hindustani music is a combination of Persian, Arabic, Afghani, and Indian folk songs. Carnatic music is totally indigenous. Indigenous movie. There is no foreign influence of any kind in the Carnatic music. It is combination of all these. There is practice of the artist had chance of improvisation, during the music. Artist had a chance of improvisation during the music. This led to the rise of Gharana system. Gharana system. This led to the rise of Gharana system. Various Gharana, Banaras Gharana, Patiala Gharana, Kirana Gharana, Betia Gharana, many Gharanas had developed, many forms of music had developed. Because of this, the artist had chances of improvisation. So Gharana system and styles of singing that all developed, Dhrupad, Khayal, various type of the rag, styles of singing. So that led to the Gharana system and the styles of singing as well. Because in Hindustani music, the artist had chances of practice of improvisation. But Carnatic music is static. No change in the pattern. So we don't find Gharanas, various school of music of the same music in Carnatic music. So we don't find Gharanas. Hindustani. Hindustani music. There is no time limit. There is a strict time, a strict adherence to time. A strict adherence to time. Or here there is no time limit. No time limit. Here equal emphasis on vocal and instrumental music. Vocal and instrumental music had equal emphasis, or here vocal music was more preferred. Vocal music was emphasized. Equal emphasis on vocal and instrumental music. There are only major 6 rag. Six rag. And here we have the 72 मेल करता. $72 rags is there. A flute and the violin is the common instrument, is the common to both. Common to both flute and the violin. This is common to both. common to both. So Hindustani music is quite popular in northern India, and Carnatic music is southern India. So we will take up the example of various sub-styles. So important instrument in the Hindustani music is tabla, sarangi, sitar, santur, flute and violin. Most of the Hindustani musicians trace their descent to Tansen. The greatest ever icon of the Hindustani music, Tansen. So various rag based on the vocal, the house of music, like Khayal, Ghazal, Drupad, Dhamar, Tarana, Tappa, Thumri. Drupad. This is the oldest and grandest form of Its description of this Drupad music we can find in the Natya Shastra. Natya Shastra. Natya Shastra of Bharat Muni. We can find the descriptions of Drupad music. In the court of Akbar, you'll find in the court of Akbar, there are three great singers of the Drupad music: Haridas, Gopal Das, and Tansen. Three great singers of Drupad music in the court of Akbar. So once the music starts, it's called Alap. Haridas, Baba Gopal Das, and Tansen. So these three great singers of the Drupad music. There are various gharanas of Drupad, like we have Dagri Gharana. Remember this thing only, not all the features. Darbhanga Gharana, Talwandi Gharana in Pakistan, Betia Gharana, Darbhanga Dagri. These are the four big gharanas of Drupad music. Based on the style of singing. These are the four big gharana of Drupad. Khayal, the Khayal is a part of the Hindustani music. So Khayal Gharana, style of singing, is imagination. Imagination. It's called Bada Khayal. And Chota Khayal. Chota Khayal of 2 to 8 lines. 2 to 8 lines. It is also called Bandish. Bandish. Chota Khayal is also known as Bandist. It's not more than 2 to 8 lines. Imagination. The earliest exponent of Khayal music is Amir Khusro. Amir Khusro. This is a song of love and separation both. Love and separation both. Love and separation both. Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, Bharat Ratna. He received Bharat Ratna, the greatest contemporary singer. Gwalior Gharana is the oldest and considered as the mother of all the gharanas. This is oldest and is called mother of all the gharanas. The major gharana in Khayal, Gwalior, Kirana, Patiala, Agra, and then Vendi Bazaar Gharana. Vendi Bazaar Gharana is in Pakistan. Gwalior Gharana is the oldest and is considered as mother of all other gharanas. So, end of the Khayal is called Thumri. When Khayal music is about to end, that style of singing is called Thumri. So, end of the Khayal music is called Thumri. The origin is mainly in the Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow, mainly in Lucknow and Banaras around 18th century. 18th century. Originated in eastern UP. The end of the Khayal. This is romantic and erotic style of singing. That is lives of Lord Krishna and Radha, romanticism, you might have heard the name Begum Akhtar, is one of the most popular singer of Thumri style. Love, separation and devotion.